This is the Captain's Jug of Thoughts podcast.
You know, if we want to go with Youngstown, we can go all the way back. You know, the French got here. The first settlement here was 1679. The first one was called Fort Denonville. Fort Conti shortly after that. Those forts were, just wooden forts out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You were out here, and there was... Indians, I had no idea what was going on, and they just really didn't like it. And at any point, that second they're sitting around the fire and they look up and they see those arrows going over their head, they're just like, oh, So the first French expedition that came through here, they were coming through Montreal, and they recognized the spot that is Fort Niagara now as pretty much the ideal place to build a fort. So they left a garrison of 100 men there. When the reinforcements of those 100 guys came back in the spring, there was 12 left of them.
Oh, wow.
Anywhere from freezing to death, starving to death.
Yeah, some
being
crazy
killed
disease.
by an Indian attack.
Yeah.
Crazy disease.
Yeah.
Wiped out 88% of them. I mean, you even see that bronze cross that's at Fort Niagara now. That's a model of a cross that the French Jesuit minister that was with the reinforcement expedition, Father Millet. It's called the Father Millet cross. He ordered that to be constructed out of wood. And in 1923, President Calvin Coolidge signed off on an order to recreate that cross with the bronze cross you see today there. At one point, that was the smallest national park ever operated by the National Park Service.
Oh, the fort was?
No, just that cross.
Oh.
It's 0.00023 acres. And it was designated as a national park.
Wow.
A national monument. So that was the smallest national park ever operated by the National Park Service.
Just the little cross. Wow.
Just a little cross there. But, two full-fledged wars were fought in the grounds of the fort there. And in 1759, the French and British fought the French and Indian War. In that time, the siege of the fort, the British laid a 19-day siege. The famous battle that happened right here in Youngstown, pretty much where the jug sits now, is where the ambush took place for the French reinforcements that were coming from what's now St. Louis and Toledo. The French forces came up to reinforce the garrison that was at the fort, and they got ambushed by the British and chased all the way back up to above the falls now. And they got back up there. They sailed 3 boats here, and they only had enough to sail 2 of them home. Wow. So they pulled one of them off on Grand Island and set it on fire. The spot we know as Burn Ship Creek now.
Burn Ship Creek.
For that reason.
How about that?
That was the battle that was really decisive in the North American theater of what's known as the French and Indian War. It happened here. This was the big spot.
This is the Captain's Jug of Thoughts podcast. Recorded at the Ontario House. The Stone Jug. The Stone Jug.